the greatest piece of tape, the greatest assemblage of visual evidence that anybody has ever put together on the subject of Obamacare. The Republican plan, apparently, if this weekend has anything to say about it, the apparently new Republican plan for dealing with the real reality on the ground is that Republicans are just going to pretend it's not happening. La, 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 la.
The White House announced this week more than 6 million people now total have signed up for private health insurance on the exchanges, including 1.8 million so far just in March. But they still have no numbers for how many people have paid for coverage, how many so-called young invincibles have signed up, nor how many people have signed up who were previously uninsured. Senator Barrasso, given that, how much does this 6 million number actually mean?
I don't think it means anything, Chris. I think they're cooking the books on this.
They're cooking the books, really. You are forgiven if you do not know who the man is who is speaking there. He is not, contrary to popular impression, he is not a Stephen Colbert impersonator. In fact, that is a United States senator from the great state of Wyoming. And it's not like he's brand new. I don't know why no one can ever pick John Barrasso out of a lineup, but nobody can pick John Barrasso out of a lineup. That, however, is U.S. Senator John Barrasso. And he is not the only U.S. senator who thinks that maybe the Obamacare numbers are all fake. Maybe it just can't be true that this many million people have signed up for health insurance under Obamacare.
Your colleague, Senator Barrasso, says that the White House is actually fixing the book.
Totally they are.
You agree with that?
Yeah, they're not.
Do you have any facts to back that up?
No. No, Lindsey Graham does not have any facts to back that up. But this is proving to be one of the more entertaining instincts that even pretty high-ranking Republicans have developed in the Obama era. I mean, you think they might have learned a lesson about publicly denying the numbers during the great Obama re-election great conservative punditry fail of 2012, right? I mean, you'd think that they would be embarrassed about ignoring the numbers, right? They were embarrassed by that episode, weren't they?
I believe the minimum result will be 53-47 Romney, over 300 electoral votes, and the Republicans will pick up the Senate. I base that on just years and years of experience.
The wild card in what I've projected is I'm projecting Minnesota to go for Romney.
I think Ohioans vote with their wallets. That's why I think Romney's going to win on Tuesday.
I think Ohio is going to be a squeaker, maybe an 80, 100, 110,000 vote margin, but I think the Republicans are likely to take it.
Who's going to win this election? Charles Krauthammer, your best prediction.
Romney, very close. But he'll win the popular by, I think, about half a point. Electoral college, probably a very narrow margin.
It will be the biggest surprise in recent American political history. It will rekindle a whole question as to why the media played this race as a nail-biter, where, in fact, I think Romney is going to win by quite a bit.
I am now predicting a 330 electoral vote landslide. Yes, that's right. 330 electoral votes.
Yeah, you guys, no one was skewing the polls. Nobody was cooking the books to make it look like President Obama was going to get elected, when in fact, Mitt Romney was going to get elected, and by a lot, and he was going to win Ohio and Minnesota, and it was going to be beautiful. You know what? It was a conservative fantasy, and a very embarrassing one, because it was conducted in public, and that tape exists forever. Also, the Department of Labor did not cook the books and make up new unemployment numbers before the election to help the president. Those really were the real unemployment numbers. And the idea that they were fake numbers that were made up, they were cooking the books, that was a conservative fantasy. And again, an embarrassing one. But now, Obamacare. The Affordable Care Act has hit its projected numbers as well. They're not cooking the books. And there's not going to be a death spiral where the law dies under its own actuarial weight because people have refused to sign up. In fact, people are signing up at exactly the rate they were expected to sign up at, if not a little faster. Republican politicians really do hate this law, but it is doing what it was supposed to do. The number of uninsured people in our country has dropped by 9.5 million people because of this law. And the new political reality of Obamacare is that wishing for Obamacare to go away can no longer just be a wish that exists in an ideological vacuum. The policy exists now. And wishing for it to go away means now that you're wishing that 9.5 million Americans who just got health insurance, you're wishing that they would go back to being uninsured. I mean, a death spiral would have been so cool. But that is not at all what happened. Joining us now is Dr. Zeke Emanuel, former White House health policy advisor, currently chair of medical ethics and health policy at the University of Pennsylvania. Were the Republicans right to say that and the conservatives more broadly, were they right to say that if people didn't sign up, that if the numbers stayed as bad as they were when the websites didn't work and those first couple weeks when nobody was really signing up, if those numbers stayed terrible, then in actuarial terms, the whole system wouldn't work. The whole idea of Obamacare would fall apart. Were they right to warn about that?
Yes, that is true. If you don't have enough people in the system, it will collapse of its own weight, and other exchanges in other places did collapse. And, fortunately, the 7 million, which was, as you point out, the original projection without the 2 months of screwed up website, will be reached by the end here pretty comfortably. And I think that is shows that it's been a major, there's really pent up demand. People really want insurance, and they want affordable insurance. And when offered that possibility, they will come out of the woodwork. Of course, they're going to delay until the end. We're all procrastinators, but there is really big demand, and that, I think, is the bottom line here. Places like Connecticut have seen more than twice the estimated number. California's well over 1 million. New York's done extremely well. Here, the funny thing is, if you talk to policymakers on the right, conservatives, they agree with me about 70% of the time about things that we ought to be doing to improve the American healthcare system. Changing off the fee-for-service payment system, getting more competitive bidding on government provision of services so you can bring the prices down, having more administrative simplification so there's not so much paperwork and you can save money that way. So there are a number of things. And again, this is bipartisan once we get past the election or whenever the Republicans are going to say, all right, we're going to move off health care onto something else. Because the fact of the matter is we can do things to improve the health care system and improve the Affordable Care Act and how the whole system functions. And we should get on with it already.
Thank you very much, Zeke. It's nice to see you.
Take care.
Thanks a lot. All right. And I quote, "I could claw his eyes out." That was something that I did not think had been publicly released last week, but it turns out it had. Not only did I think he want to claw his eyes out, I wanted to pour gasoline in his eye sockets and light them on fire. This is not somebody speaking literally. This is a new form of political insult and threat that I did not even know New Jersey was capable of, but they are. Stay with us. That story's coming up.